AJ ain't innocent. AJ ain't innocent by no means. AJ ain't innocent at all. AJ instigated this whole situation just as much as Tyson Fury instigated this situation. And that's what motherfuckers ain't talking about. That's what motherfuckers ain't acknowledging, the fact that AJ played just as big a role in this whole bullshit fucking thing as Tyson Fury did. AJ and Eddie Hearn. These dudes teamed up with Tyson Fury, okay, in order to do some slick shit. In order to fuck Deontay Wilder out of his third fight. These dudes perpetuated the problem. Because if they were really stand-up businessmen, they would have told Tyson Fury, you need to fucking fight Wilder, and then when you beat Wilder, we will fight afterwards. You need to take care of the business that you have in front of you, okay? And then when you're done, then we can fight. But no, not only did they not do that, but they incentivized Tyson Fury to indeed attempt to go around Wilder Fury 3. They incentivized Fury to go around their agreed upon third fight with Deontay Wilder. So AJ and Eddie Hearn, y'all need to hold this L just as much as Tyson Fury needs to hold this L as far as the situation was concerned. You dudes conspired against Deontay Wilder in order to prevent him from getting that third fight in fear that it would mess up your plans. But that's not how you handle business. Why shelve yourself for years in order to avoid a fight? Or in order to help somebody avoid a fight? But actually, I'm not wrong. And also to avoid a fight. Because really the only reason why you do this is to avoid a fight with Deontay Wilder yourself, Anthony Joshua. Because if you had no problem fighting the winner of Fury Wilder, you would have had no issue with letting the third fight go on and then fighting the winner of the fight after they're both finished. You would have had no problem with doing it. But clearly your preference is to get in the ring with Tyson Fury in hopes to avoid Deontay Wilder for whatever reason. Okay, and you can spin that story you can spin that story any way you want to spin that story. But at the end of the day, AJ pushed the fight with Tyson Fury in order to avoid Deontay Wilder. Because why else would you go so hard to make a fight with a guy who you know good and well is still obligated to a third fight? Why else would you do that if you have no issues with fighting the winner of that fight, of that situation? Why else would you do that? Why else would you go so hard? Why else would you put your career on hold? Why else would you wait a year and 3 months? Why else would you give somebody a 50-50 split who barely has a fan base? Why else would you do these things? If not to avoid a possible confrontation with Deontay Wilder should he be the winner of the fight. So this is what I mean. But here's the thing. Here's the thing on top of that. AJ was fully aware of the arbitration. He was fully aware of the ramifications of what could happen should the arbitration go through. At the end of the day, AJ took a gamble. AJ gambled and lost. That's really what it came down to. That's really what it came down to. I don't believe for 1 second that AJ and Eddie Hearn were completely ignorant about the arbitration and the arbitration process. Listen, anybody who does business in general, I told you dudes before in the past, I'm a real estate agent. Anybody who does business You know that by you don't do business with any entity that is in the middle of litigation, because it's high risk. There's a chance that the result of the litigation can overturn the entire business transaction. There's a chance that the result of the litigation can overturn the entire business transaction. Couple that with the fact that litigations take years, as we saw. Litigations take years sometimes, as we saw. But you just don't do business with anybody who's involved in litigation. It's high risk. It doesn't make sense. So why would AJ knowingly do business with someone he knows is involved in litigation? Why would anyone do that? Not just AJ. Why would anybody do that? The only way anyone would do that is if they felt like the litigation, if they felt like the reward outweighed the risk. No one would do business with somebody involved in litigation if they didn't feel like the gamble, the gamble was going to outweigh the bet. Nobody would do that. You know what I'm saying? So AJ ain't innocent. AJ ain't innocent. None of this. I don't feel bad for him at all.